Hi, so I'm just discussing week 7, the global consultant lecture. So first of all, I just wanted to start with the Boston bombing. So I found that really interesting that um, like closing the gap between, a globalized issue and the bombings happened in America, but we still here in Perth had our HBF fun run, and of course those bombings are going to affect that by amping up security, and people have that in the back of their mind that something might happen or something like that. And also I saw in the news just briefly, I wasn't quite sure, but in London they also had a fun run of some sort, and they paid tribute to the Boston bombings through that, but they'd also would have hyped up their security as well because it was so close to the Boston bombings. I also found interesting was the changing trends in PR, especially with news, that people don't go out to seek the news anymore. They want the news to come to them, and especially with the younger generation, we will have friends post us interesting news or share it on Facebook, or someone will send it via email or Twitter or something like that. So I think with PR people, especially with social media, it's important to create a really shareable story, and like the creativity with that is boundless. So that's kind of cool. Also, I think that another interesting thing that we discussed was the business etiquettes in different countries. I looked at Korea, and we found that they're quite modest and their humility is really quite strong. They don't like to talk themselves up, and they also don't like to talk their companies up. They're very modest about it. There's also a certain hierarchy, so you wouldn't introduce yourself to someone of a higher ranking. Someone second in charge would introduce you to like the manager or so what. And also, they're more about building long-term relationships by going out to dinner um, or some things like that. And if they offer you a drink, you don't decline it because they see that as rude. So always accept, things that are offered to you. And they're also really big about loss of face. So they don't like being humiliated in front of people. If they want to go against someone's idea, they won't do it in a big group. They'll take them aside and tell them about it, which is really interesting because I think in Australia we're not like that. If we don't like someone's idea, like we're just going to say it and be like, you know what, like I think this is the better way of doing it. But in Korea they do it a different way, and I just found that really interesting. So that's about it.